Hello and welcome to Par Folks. I'm Seamus.
And I'm Sean.
And today we are actually extending our under 30, under 100 proof whiskey challenge to include 4 more because we breezed through those first 4. Came up with Woodford as our favorite out of Woodford, Buffalo Trace, Elijah Craig small batch, and what was the other?
Four Roses.
Four Roses. So, not to kick any of them to the curb or think any less of any of them, but Woodford was our winner. So, we've decided to extend it because there are several other popular brands under $30, under 100 proof. And here's the 4 that we've picked to go with. I know there's more than this too, but we got to cap it off somewhere. So, we got 1792 going up against Larceny. That will be next week. This week, we are actually going to do Maker's Mark and Bulleit. So let's pull these guys aside. So here's our competitors for this week. We got Maker's Mark, which is what was the proof on it?
90 something?
Is a 90 proof bourbon whiskey made by Maker's Mark. And very popular. I know it's probably probably within the first 5 whiskeys I've ever tried was Maker's Mark. And then Bulleit, which is very popular. This is another 90 proof bourbon straight whiskey. And we've heard a lot of good things. I really can't say I've tried Bulleit or have any recollection of trying Bulleit.
Yeah.
I've probably had it in maybe a mixed cocktail or something. But anyway, both under 30 and both under 100 proof. So we're going to go with these ones. You ready to start it?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. I love the way Maker Mark does their...
Yeah, the wax seals.
Even with the small. Although it wasn't a cork. Okay. So, what do you think? Who do we start with? I know Makers. Maybe let's start with Makers.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yeah.
So Makers is this one?
I don't think I've tried either of these on their own.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
So.
Makers was one of the ones I remember liking way back. And then I had a buddy who told me, yeah, there's a better, or a Rebel Yell at Trader Joe's was a better price. And so we kind of got into Rebel Yell as kind of a replacement for Maker's Mark. I don't know if it's really a replacement, though,
right.
but let's give it a try.
Okay. I'm not getting anything other than that ethanol.
So you get a little bit of caramel.
Okay.
Yeah. Oak. Always get the oak on these. I'm not getting a lot of ethanol myself, actually.
Okay. That's good. I can't get past that.
Sometimes I think we need to let it breathe a little bit more.
Yeah.
If we let it breathe a little bit before we do this, it might help it. I don't know. I've seen pros and cons. So, yeah, we've been doing this. We've been testing both of them, right?
Sure.
Ooh, gosh. What is that? On the Bulleit. I smell something different. I can't place it. A banana. Man, there's a lack of oakiness in the Bulleit to me.
Okay.
A lack of oakiness in the Bulleit. Yeah, there's a sweetness. It's not. I'm having a hard time.
I'm relying on you. I feel closed off at the moment.
Oh, really?
I'm just getting the alcohol smell. It's stronger on the Makers. That might be that oakiness that you're getting more throughout. I don't know.
I am getting something completely different that this does not smell like any other whiskey we've ever tried.
Okay.
Yeah, this one right here is like unique. There's something unique about this. I'm trying to pick it out. Man. Gosh. I hate to say it. It kind kind of takes me back to the smell from Southern Comfort.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good, I know. And then, so I'm like, no, it can't be. It can't be. But it's like it's like a really toned down Southern Comfort smell.
Okay. And you're getting that from the Bulleit.
From the Bulleit.
Makers.
Yeah, from the Bulleit. Yeah,
Interesting.
there's a sweetness on here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very subdued compared to Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort is like a freaking cavity.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a bag of jelly beans.
You're right. Oh man, that's not. It's influencing this.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
My nose is waking up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of oakiness from
that's
the makers for
that's
sure.
the kind of the ethanol I can kind of burn off a little bit.
Yeah. Let's sit.
Kind of let it sit. Yeah. Anyway. I cannot. I'm unable to identify this Bulleit smell, but it's very. It's candy. It's some kind of candy smell.
I can definitely tell that the oakiness and the alcohol smell is lighter on the Bulleit.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
I'm not getting anything particular.
Now let's dive into the makers on the taste and see
Okay.
what we come up with.
Sounds good.
Oak with a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
You got a little spicy.
And for me, not much else.
Right.
It's just oak and
Yeah.
spice.
There's no, to me there's a little bit of sweetness, but it's like a spicy sweetness, not a sugar sweetness. Maybe not even cinnamon though, but I mean just I don't know.
It's kind of like the rye spice,
Okay. Yeah.
if that makes sense.
No.
Kind of that
What-
black pepper.
Do
maybe?
they state what the? We'll have to look up the
Mash bill.
mash bill.
Check it out real quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just get 90 proof.
Okay, so Maker's Mark has 70% corn,
Okay.
16% soft red winter wheat, and 14% malted barley. So there's no rye.
There's no rye, so
There's
it's a
no
wheater.
rye.
It's almost like a wheater. I mean,
Well, it's corn.
right. But
Right.
what I mean is that the next biggest mash bill outside of the corn
Right.
is wheat.
Yes.
So it kind of heavily on the wheater. So
Yeah.
I think I knew that before. I really don't have an understanding yet
Right.
of that kind of stuff. I know we're mostly doing bourbons, which we all know is 51% corn or more.
Right.
I know we had the thing where we did with the Trader Joe's where it was like the high corn was like we thought was the thing that was causing us not to like it.
Right.
But then I look at some of the ones we like and they still got high corn bills.
Right.
Like 70%. I'm like, so it's not that. It wasn't the corn. I mean, I like the Maker's Mark. It's definitely a good, smooth
Yep.
tasting. I mean, it's not, when I think about the Rebel Yell, it's like it's so much smoother than the Rebel Yell. Oh my gosh!
Something was off about that Rebel Yell.
Yeah.
It was a total hit or miss.
Right.
Constantly.
And so, anyway, okay, let's try the Bulleit.
Nope.
There's that's that. I don't know what that sweetness is. It's interesting. I looked at Bulleit, right? Or did you look at Bulleit?
I looked up Makers.
Okay, so the mash bill on the Bulleit is 68 corn, 28 rye, and 4% malted barley. So this has rye in it. The Makers did not, right? What was the? Sorry, what was the Makers?
Yeah, no rye.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know, unfortunately, the Bulleit is taking me back to Southern Comfort, and I couldn't stand it.
Right.
It was just too sickening sweet, and this is on the cusp of that.
Okay. Yeah, for me, the Bulleit feels pre-watered down.
Okay.
Compared to the Makers.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So the flavor, you're talking about flavor-wise, or?
Yeah, flavor-wise.
Yeah, flavor-wise.
Like almost to an extent where it kills it, because a lot of the time, like the little bit of water that we add, like I've said before, it sort of opens up the flavors, kind of gives it a different profile. I think this is just dead,
right?
To an extent. I mean, it's alcohol for sure, but
right. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have the same kind of complexity to it at all. It's very simple.
Yeah,
I think it's. I can't place what the nose is. The smell I'm getting from that. It's that sweetness. I don't know if it's a jelly bean or cotton candy. It's not really either one of those. But it's definitely that very sweet. But I'm not picking it up on the flavor. The flavor is very subdued. I mean, if you wanted to mix it with something that where you wanted the flavors out of it, it might be good. And you just get the alcohol from the whiskey, that's fine. But for flavor, it's not there for me. No. Not on the regular Bulleit. I know the Bulleit Rye is a little bit different. We've done that one before.
Yeah.
Makers has that oaky, not so sweet, but definitely a flavor.
Yeah.
A little more complex.
Yeah.
So for me, it'd be Maker's Mark.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So I think Maker's Mark over Bulleit. So we'll see how that goes. We've got 1792 and Larceny up next, and so we'll see how that goes. And then Maker's Mark against the winner of that one. So let's see. Maker's Mark. Shlanta. To your health. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Let us know what you think. And we'll see you next time.